Hello, Wolverine Nation. My name is Chip Fletcher. I'm assistant principal at Union Grove High School, and this is...
I'm Kelly Smith, assistant principal here at Union Grove.
And I'm Darius Freeman, also an assistant principal here at Union Grove.
So, we're trying something new this year. We are creating what we call video snippets to sort of inform the parents what our student expectations are. We call this the Wolverine way. We think that one of the things that we were lacking at is really communicating with the parents about what the expectations are. Our students know, but some of our parents don't. We're going to cover several issues in little short snippets. You'll receive handbooks, which I'm going to go over in just a second, but I know not everyone looks at the handbooks, or they just kind of breeze through them, or they don't touch them at all. We're not going to read the handbooks. It's going to be very informal the way I'm speaking to you right now. And of course, if you ever have any questions about anything or concerns, please give one of us a call, and we'll certainly address that. Some of the things that we're going to talk about, again, we can't cover everything, but some of the things that we think that are important to help your child be successful at Union Grove High School are tardy policies, our cell phone, electronic device policy, hall passes, dress code, which has always been a big one, up and coming problem with vaping, just fights that happen at school, after school loitering, parking permits, and cyberbullying, which has become a big thing over the past few years. Before we go to the actual snippets, I do want to introduce you to handbooks. Henry County has a handbook. This is actually last year's handbook, but most of you did not see this. The handbook now is, you have to get it electronically. You won't actually get a hard copy. You can request one, but for most of you, you would have to go to the Henry County website. So there is a county handbook that we have to adhere to. But then there's also the Union Grove High School addendum to the county handbook. This will go home with you during pre-planning. Now, I introduce these to you to say this, and we're talking just about the student expectations. I've been here for a long time, and for many years, the violations have been titled sections 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're changing a little bit of that this year. They're called level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just real quick, the level 3 and level 4, which was section 3 and section 4, has not changed very much at all. If a student is found that they have, violated a section 3 or 4, that's a disciplinary hearing, and that is also typically a law has been broken, and that's turned over to the school resource officer. So those are some pretty major violations. The level 2 violations, the first time offense for those are typically handled in school, but the consequences are more severe than a level 1. Those are in school or out of school suspension days that will go over 5 days, 5 to 10 days, depending on the violation, and that would be up to the administrators to determine what that is. We're going to be focusing mostly on the level 1 violation today. These are the things like behavior detrimental, skipping, being in an unauthorized area, excessive tardiness, and there's a whole bunch of them. Now, what the county's doing different this year with level 1 is that they have given a range of consequences for various level 1 violations. We, as an administrative team here at Union Grove High School, because we, the three of us, are dealing with discipline, we felt that in our addendum to the county handbook that we needed to make sure that we are consistent with the way we handle these violations. So what we are going to do and try to be real consistent with this and fair is if you are, if a student, which we hope this never happens, but we want to inform the parents that if you're found doing a level 1 violation, the first time you will receive 2 days of in-school suspension, and we're just going to be consistent with that. The second time will be 3 days of in-school suspension, and the third time will be 5 days of in-school suspension. The fourth time will be 2 days of out-of-school suspension. And after a fourth level 1 violation, the county requires that we send home a letter. It's pretty generic. It's called a chronic disciplinary letter. So you would receive that. We'd also are mandated to have a behavior conference in which the student, parents, the teachers, administrator, counselors will all be present to talk about some of these issues and what we can do to help with those behaviors. Then after that, it would depend on any other violations. But what we want to do is try to be proactive, and that's one of the reasons why we're talking to you today, to help you help us and vice versa in terms of making sure we don't get to that situation. You have anything you would like to add?
Well, as Mr. Fletcher said, the handbooks are available, the county handbook online. Each student at Union Grove on day one of school will receive the Wolverine Way to take home with them. But we also have a student expectations meeting after just a couple of days of school, so that we can go over these things with your student. In addition to that, for new move-ins, once a month we do a student orientation for new students, and they get this information when they arrive, so that everyone continues to know what the expectations are here for behavior.
And truthfully, the reason why we want to make sure that we're consistent too is because, again, we are here to be the disciplinarian, so to speak, but at the same time, we would love to be proactive and promote positivity. So by having these expectations be clear cut, we're hoping to promote what to do versus what not to do. So that's the whole point of doing these video snippets, just so that we as in the school collectively are all on the same page to promote the Wolverine Way.
So, with that said, our next video we will address tardies, and that's been one of the things that we want to make sure that we curb this year. So I hope you join us in viewing the next video snippet. Thank you.